right. Let's see here. Dang. We are the breakers of curses, the casters of glorious conspiracies, and the creators of the new world. I, Cassandra-Floyd, am a divine instrument of my mother's divine will. As such, I am protected and guided by the sacred blood and water of my mother, Jacqueline Jeanette Cook's body, that anointed my entry into this life. I am divine because she is divine. Mommy and I are one. I call all of our mothers to this moment. I call on they who govern everything, all time and every space in between. She with 10,000 names, today it is Oya, Yamaya, Oshun, Iami Aje, the divine architects of existence, usheresses of the new age. Mommy and I are one. I call upon all the divine ancestors and the Ashe of every mother on earth to break every curse ever cast upon the mother and her children. In all timelines and in every dimension, Mommy and I are one. We, the mother's divine children, conspire together today to forever bind those who have or would harm you, great mother. Mommy and I are one. We call upon the divine, let's see. Today we embody today we conspire together today to destroy everything and everyone in every timeline and dimension that is called suffering and despair. Today we embody the sacred and divine power of our mothers. Today, we the tree, we the weavers rewrite all time. Today, we the tree, we the weavers rewrite the book of life. Today, we, our mother's children, call the winds of change. We conjure the primordial dark. We summon the sacred serpent deep from within the earth. We subdue the rogue sun. We control the light. We heal the harmed. We embolden the fearful. We instill courageous action. Today, we are staging a global evolution as is our mother's divine will. Mommy and I are one. We, the architects of the new age, now create the new institutions, the new traditions, the new culture, the new ways of being. We ecstatically welcome the radical destruction of all institutions of hate and harm erected by the godheads of war. Mommy and I are one. We have the power. We have the voice. We are the portals of change. Now we employ our sacred breath and give life and sacred blood to this conspiracy. Mommy and I are one. We command, come the wind, come the storm, come the lightning, capture and judge all godheads of war and all betrayers of the mother's divine will. Bring their confusion and war to an immediate end. Scatter them to oblivion, never to be resurrected. We are the fates. We are the furies. We are the Iami Aj. We are the disseminators of divine time and divine retribution, divine rectification, and evolutionary justice. We are the restorers of heaven on earth under the mother's divine reign. We wake the sacred serpent from her sleep to assist us in this sacred assignment. Love unlimited is our destiny, as our birthright. Harmony is our birthright. Ecstasy is our birthright. Pleasure is our birthright. Freedom is our birthright. Is this her divine will? And we are the divine executors of her will. We speak her will into the now to reverberate throughout all time, all space, and all dimensions. It is certainly, as we say, forever and ever. Mommy and I are one. Mommy and I are one. Mommy and I are one. And I'm gonna add the addendum. I haven't figured out how I'm hey, I'll put the same thing twice. I don't know how I'm gonna weave it in here. I'm still working on that. But in the meantime, hey man, it's working. It's working. It's working. The global conspiracy to right all wrongs is working. So is the conspiracy cast on November 19th of 2024. It's working. Now let us refocus focus on the reclamation of what is ours. Y'all ready? Run us our money. Run us our lands. Run us our lives. Run us our unpaid and underpaid labor all the way back through the ancestral lines. Run us our stolen money in the form of being chronically overtaxed. Run us our social wealth in the form of the stolen lives of young people who have lost their lives in the form of the prison industrial complex. Run us our money for the planned premature deaths of all of our communities due to environmental racism. Run us our stolen collective social wealth from all the black cities that were destroyed and erased from history. Run us our reparations from the era of lynchings and legal murder that continue to this day. Justice and vengeance and retribution is ours. Run us our happiness. Run us our pleasure. Run us our peace. We destroy every single obstacle to our abundance, sovereignty, pleasure, ecstasy, joy, harmonious lives, and our joyful reunion with our divine mother. We are her blade, her shield, her axe, her hammer, her fire, her arrows. All billionaires, their descendants, all their connections and supporters are judged guilty. All organizations and corporations on earth who have or continue to cause all suffering, harm, and despair are judged guilty. All slave owners and they goddamn descendants, colonizers, past, present, and future, are judged guilty. Every politician who has lied, betrayed, schemed to exploit us are now judged guilty. Every religious leader, preacher, teacher, imam, motherfucking rabbi, who else I put up on here? Let's see. Every religious leader, every shaman, every yogi, whoever the fuck who has caused harm in any way, especially to children, are judged guilty. Everyone who has contributed to or participated in the deliberate harming of children, foster care system, child care system, medical system, psychiatric system, child trafficking, and ritualistic, all religions, breeding of children during slavery, the commodification of children in any way, you are judged most guilty with the most severe punishment. Everyone who has or currently supports genocide, colonialism or colonization, slavery, oppression, femicide, infanticide are judged guilty. The Roman Catholic Church is guilty. Judaism is judged guilty. Islam is judged guilty. Buddhism is judged guilty. Cults that have harmed women and children are judged guilty. Governments are judged guilty. Patriarchy is judged guilty. All murderers and rapists are judged guilty. All harm causing doctors, scientists, white collar criminals, presidents, kings, rulers, emperors, queens, nobility, popes, imams, rabbis, philosophers, magicians, and magi are judged guilty. To all those judged guilty, your punishment will suit your crime times 999, this is the Mother's Divine Judgment, her divine will. Redemption may be possible for some, but the cost for redemption is equal to the sum of your crimes and transgressions. We now call the Furies to carry out our judgment harshly, publicly, and with undeniable evidence that this is our mother's will be done. It is certainly, as we say, forever and ever, throughout all time, throughout every dimension, and all space in between. Mommy and I are one. Mommy and I are one. Mommy and I are one. I'm going to tell y'all, I'm struggling. I'm struggling. I'm sleepy. I haven't been to sleep since yesterday morning, and it has finally caught up with me after 2 readings. I am struggling. I'm going to try to pull my shit together. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do something that's going to help me pull my shit together. So y'all just got to bear with me while I'm going to go make myself a really quick smoothie, but I wanted to make sure I was up on here on time for a change. But now y'all going to have to sit up in here and wait while I go make myself a motherfucking smoothie so I can try to wake my ass up. I am struggling. I'm dragging ass. Okay? Thank you, GJP, for the donation. Give me a minute. Oh. God damn it! Son of a bitch! God damn it, man! Fuck! Oh, bitch! Damn. Okay. I guess I'm awake since I almost killed my goddamn cat. Oh shit. Anyway. Turn this on. So all right. So What did I call this shit today? Oh, I remember what I called it. So random, but I'm gonna share it with you. Last night I went to go hang out with a homie, and I was there late. Hence why I said I haven't slept, because we were up. She was painting her apartment. I was doing my hair, and I didn't leave her house till like 3 o'clock this morning, and whatever. Anyway, on the drive home, all random like, y'all know I'm always obsessing about the etymology of words, and for whatever reason, the word patience came up for me as a word of necessity, to talk to y'all about today. Well, not to talk to y'all about. I came home, I was like, why is patience on my mind so heavy at look, 3:34 o'clock in the morning? So I came home 4 o'clock in the morning, sat right down at the computer to search the word patience, right? And why I be annoyed. I know y'all think I'm a weirdo, yo. But why I be annoyed at certain words? I'm like, I hate that word. I hate the word patience. It's so good. It's banana and peanut butter and my greens, peanut and almond milk. Jamming, jamming, jamming. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-hmm. This good. Mm. Yes, that's good. Anyway, so I called this live Patience and Discipline and Why I Hate Them Both. And we talked about discipline some time back, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on discipline, but it came back into my cipher again. That's why I put it up there, because there's a song by Dead Prez that I really like. It's just an interlude, but I always used to like it. My homeboy Tahir RPG is the one that wrote it. And it's like a little, it's like a little mantra. It's like a little mantra between the real songs or whatever. And it's called Discipline, right? And that used to be my jam, because I had been an activist for a long time, and there's nothing more important than revolutionary discipline. And so Tahir sang the song, discipline makes things easier. Organize your life. Do, 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 do. Discipline makes things easier. Organize your life. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be fine. Discipline, practice makes perfect. Discipline, health is wealth. Discipline, all things in moderation. Discipline. What's the last one? Oh, All things in moderation. Work your plan. Wait, plan your work. Work your plan. Right? That's my jam. Every workshop that I used to do. I used to teach a workshop on what was it called? It was called the fundamentals of effective organizing. So I used to teach this at like African centered schools, shit like that. And I would always come in on that song. Discipline makes. You got to hear the song though, because the music is killing. Discipline makes things easier. And that was my jam for a long ass time. I was listening to it the other day because I was in a revolutionary mood. So I had my revolutionary hip hop playlist playing, you feel me? And that song came on, and my DJ response was like, "Oh, that's why she did discipline makes." I was like, "But I hate the word discipline." You know what I'm saying? I had to stop. I was like, "Damn, I hate the word discipline." And the word disciplined defined my whole life from the age of 24 to 2008 when I finally, longer than that for that matter, because I still was an organizer. I was still hiring myself out as an organizer until the last big event that I did. The last big event that I did was in March of 2018. And that was always my line, was revolutionary discipline. Revolutionary discipline. The urgency and the importance of revolutionary discipline. Revolutionary discipline. Over and over and over again, like a mantra. Revolutionary discipline. You know what I'm saying? This and this and this and this. And baby, all right, we got to create a whole new way of thinking and being and communicating. I hate the word discipline. I hate it. And the reason I hated it is it always made me feel self-critical, and it always made me feel, and in that same organization we were taught that self-criticism was a necessary ingredient for the installation of revolutionary discipline. I hate the word discipline and could not reason for a long time why I had such an opposition in my body for a rejection for this word, because that didn't come from nowhere. I'm learning about revolutionary discipline, but I was in a goddamn religious cult. And so also discipline becomes the foundation for every Abrahamic religion. The root word of which is disciple. And so I went, and that didn't end there, because even after I left the African People's Socialist Party and was organizing events for other people's organizations, guess what? I still ended up I still ended up in a devotee of a disciple of the Ifa tradition, where discipline, at least in theory, was the guiding narrative. This here smoothie has changed my whole outlook on life. Yes, it has. I am a very easily pleased woman. And when I tell you that smoothie has changed my whole outlook on life right now, I hate the word discipline. And without going back, because I didn't take notes when I did that live for you guys, but what did I tell you that the word discipline means? I don't remember. Maybe it was 5 or 6 fucking videos ago. But what did I tell you? The etymology of the word discipline means. Somebody do me a favor and Google it right quick. I'm drinking it too fast. I don't want it to be over soon. Somebody do me a favor and do a search for the etymology of the word discipline and put it in the the etymology. Put the whole etymology for me, please. In the because it's like the harsh correction necessary for something. Like, somebody just go into the searches. I'm gonna read all of these, but there is something specific I am looking for. Go into the search engine and type in etymology of the word discipline. That's it. Etymology of the word discipline. And then maybe scroll down to the one that says etymology.com or something. Let's see. The smoothie is frozen bananas, unsweetened peanut butter, my protein supplement that has a bunch of mixed greens and hemp is the base for the protein, bee pollen, and almond milk. And it is swinging. It's jamming. It's jamming. Okay. So let's see what y'all got here. Chastisement for the sake of correction. Okay. Suffering. Okay. Mortification by scourging oneself. That's deep as fuck. What's the other one? In the Middle English, the mortification by scourging oneself, and the Old French, instruction, knowledge from disciplice. 1200, circa 1200. Penitential chastisement, punishment for the sake of correction, from Old French, discipline, discipline, physical punishment, teaching, suffering, martyrdom. And directly from the Latin disciplina, instruction given, teaching, learning, knowledge, also object of instruction, knowledge, science, military, blah, 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 blah. To subject to discipline, correct, chastise, punish, meaning instruct, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Okay. All right, cool. You get the gist. It is harsh punishment. It is harsh punishment used to correct, used to train, right? I don't remember where I found the definition that I found that I loved so much that really vindicated me in my hatred of this word discipline. Why you being so rebellious? You just need to learn discipline, blah, revolutionary discipline, spiritual discipline, blah, 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 blah. And my baby giant was just like, this word is terrible. Search the etymology, bitch. There's a reason you hate this word. You are not crazy. There is something wrong with this bullshit. And there it was. I was like, no wonder my baby giant was always rejecting this bullshit. And then I feel bad in my head, but my heart is saying, no, you right. But my head was like, maybe there's something wrong with me because I hate discipline so much. Nope, my baby giant was right. So last night, driving home at 3:30 in the morning, I'm like, why is the word patience on me so much? I didn't hear anything about it. Like, there was no basis for why this word just came up in my consciousness while I was driving with one knee and trying to keep doing my hair. You feel me? Baby. So I came home and honored this little weird interaction that was happening in my body. And let me tell you about patience and why I hate that shit. Why I hate that shit. Why I always felt like the word patience was a was a condemnation. Why it was a I always felt like it was a way to shut a bitch up. Why it was a way, it felt like every time somebody say you just need to be patient, it was a way to invalidate a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you about patience. It had me up in here subdued last night. This shit had me up in here dismayed and shit. You feel me? Patience. The Latin patientia, the quality, let's see, and it's the Latin. Listen, the quality of suffering or enduring. Patience is the quality of suffering and enduring. God damn. This Latin term is derived from the word patiens. Patiens, the present participle of pati, P-A-T-I, which means to endure or to suffer. The word then entered the English language through Old French patience around the 12th century, and the meaning has remained consistent, emphasizing listen to this bullshit, emphasizing the ability to calmly endure hardship and delay. The modern meaning is the capacity to accept trouble, suffering, or delay without getting angry or upset. I was up in this bitch at 4 o'clock in the morning screaming, what the fuck? I was up in this bitch hollering this morning. I said, what the fuck? What the fuck? Y'all, this bullshit say the ability to calmly endure hardship and delay. What's the hardship? The ability to endure and to suffer. To endure trouble, suffering, and delay without getting angry and upset. What? Listen, that's bad, ain't it? That's real bad, ain't it? You feel like you've been betrayed. You feel like this sleight of hands ass bullshit was deliberately done to cast a spell on your ass to get you to self-police. Don't you feel like that? Don't that feel like some twisted sleight of hand mechanism to cause a bitch to self-police? Oh, you just need to practice the art of patience. You just need to learn patience while you are suffering and enduring hardship and trouble. It gets worse as if it could. It gets worse as if it could. Yes. What's your name? S. Taylor 619. Say, no wonder when somebody told me to just be patient, I felt some type of way. Because your baby giant is like everything you hearing is that bullshit and that bullshit and ass bullshit. Just listen. Remember I told you that when I first became a black nationalist, right? I was so mad all the time because it felt like everything I had ever learned about the world was a lie. That I was literally like a baby infant all over again, having to relearn the whole world because everything I ever learned was a lie. And I was mad. I was outraged, for a long time. Like, damn, why these motherfuckers lie about every fucking thing, right? And remember, I told you, instead of just trying to learn all things, I said, you know what? My default position from this day forward is whatever position the white world take, I'm automatically taking the opposing position, and I'm probably gonna be right. If they say this is a diabolical bad guy dictator over here somewhere, I'm gonna go find out what this nigga did right and how he made the white people mad, and he probably the good guy. You feel? Whenever they say that this guy is the villain in the movie, I'm like, the opposite position is this motherfucker is the good guy because he done made the white people mad. That my general position was, whatever the white world say, I'm automatically taking the opposing position, and I'm probably gonna be better off for it. And I was. And then when my understanding got deeper several years later, and I recognized that white people are not the only problem, that they are a symptom of the greater problem, which is that great grand patriarch in the motherfucking sky. The great grand patriarch is the problem. And so I said, okay, it's not in addition to what my original position was I'm automatically going to take the opposing position of the white world, and I'm probably going to be better off. Then I had to deepen that shit as my understanding deepened and say, whatever the Father God in the motherfucking sky say, I'm automatically taking the opposite position. Whatever that white boy in the heavens say, I'm automatically taking the opposing position, and I'm probably going to be better off. I'm like, like that's as deep as it can get. That all I got to do is take the opposing position of the Father God in the sky, and I'm gonna be all right. And then I started learning about the depths of they bullshit and ass bullshit. That every word you say out your motherfucking mouth, if you are not investigating that shit, you probably speaking a spell over your goddamn bro. You probably casting a spell on yourself. Because that's what they did when they rearranged the words and changed the meanings of the words. Is to ensure that the most powerful on earth are in a perpetual fucking state of spell casting on their motherfucking self. That's what I mean when I say your ass is fucking self-policing. When you be feeling bad inside because some motherfucker tell you, well, you need a little bit more discipline. You know, you just need to learn the art of patience. And you like, damn, maybe I do need to be more patient. I do be getting real impatient with bitches. That's what Virgos are perpetually being accused of and being told they are guilty of, is to be perpetually self-critical, to be extra critical of others, and to what's the other thing? Is to perpetually be self-critical and critical of others, and to be perpetually impatient. You just need to learn patience, Virgo. You just need to learn patience. All the while, your little Virgo goddess, your little Estrella is up in that bitch talking about, nah, bitch, we came here to change the world. You don't need to be patient. You don't need to bridle your tongue, bitch. You need to slay motherfuckers with your tongue is what you need to do. You need to be out here cleaving a bitch head off with your tongue is what you need to be doing. Don't be letting these motherfucking astrologers tell you that your affliction as a Virgo is that you are too self-critical. Don't be letting these motherfuckers out here tell you that your problem as a Virgo is that you do not have no patience. You a Virgo because you supposed to be. Bitch, you God incarnate. You the only female entity in the entire zodiac, and you came here to right all wrongs. Why you do that? Because your mama is Libre. Your mama the judge. Your mama is the one that holds the scales of justice. She is the one that's gonna make this shit be a harmonious symbiotic relationship among the heavens and the earth. And the only way to do that is to have her daughter Estrella, aka Virgo, with a leg bar as her son, aka Mercury, aka Hermes, to communicate her will across all languages, so you motherfuckers can act right. Because the world would not even spin the way that it's supposed to if a Virgo didn't exist, bitch. The only reason we haven't descended into absolute chaos in the world so far is because motherfucking Virgos exist, bitch. The master architect, Virgos, the master systems creators. She has the ability to see all the things and all the spaces in between y'all motherfuckers can't see, because y'all just want to be out here twerking and partying and shit. No shade. But she like, look, y'all be making shit difficult that ain't difficult. That's why Virgos be constantly saying, you know what, bitch? Move the fuck out of the way, I'll do it myself. Because you making some shit complicated that don't need to be complicated. What is the fucking telltale sign of a Virgo? They create systems to make the work easier, not harder. They create the systems. They can see those things that you can't see. They see that this thing over here and this thing over here seemingly don't have no relationship. But I can figure out how to put these two things together to make it work and make this shit pop well and expediently and perfect and perfectionate and perfectly. And so here, all this time, my whole existence, child, you need to learn more patience. You know, you need to tone it down. You know, you get so frustrated so easily. You need to work on that. You need more discipline in your behavior and in your emotions. You need, and little did we know that Australia during the last golden child, this is a motherfucking word I didn't even intend to give y'all. During the last golden age, Australia here with her mother, with her grandmama, great grandmother Crone, who ushered in an age of peace unimaginable for human beings. It was like, I just want to see you bitches happy. It was said that human beings were the most brilliant they had ever been in the last golden age, under the divine protection of the great grandmother Crone, who y'all call Saturn today, and her granddaughter, Australia. And for 2,000 plus years, human beings lived so well and so abundantly. It says that they did not even have to labor for food or housing, that everything unfolded effortlessly under the reign of the divine mothers. Ain't that about a motherfucking bitch? Not only that, what else did it say? That the golden age was defined by the life of ease, and that the only way humans died was of old age. And once they died of ripe old age, they came back immediately to the earth, their spirit, to walk as guardians to the other humans. Huh? Isn't that a beautiful story? Isn't that a beautiful story? You understand what I'm saying? And towards the end of the golden age, something created a kink in the matrix, child. Something created a kink in the matrix. Excuse me. And that kink, the great grandmother Crone was like, I see something. Something is rotten in Denmark. Something we on the precipice of some bullshit and ass bullshit. So I'm gonna go on ahead and be up out of here. Australia, you stay with them. Try to coax them to get their mind right. But I can already see the writing on the wall. This is about to be some bullshit, and I'm the fuck up out of here. Tell me that there are not multiple stories that have the same theme when Oshun leaves the earth because she becomes disrespected by the male Orisha. She's like, oh, y'all don't need me up in here. Y'all got an attitude because the divine feminine is up in the space trying to make the contributions that she needs to make to this harmonious thing. Y'all got it? Cool. Then I'm gonna take me and my gifts and I'm gonna be the fuck up out of here. Y'all make this shit happen on your own. And everything fell the fuck apart. This story exists in a Disney movie too. Y'all remember that cute ass little movie called The Rabbit and the Moon? The Rabbit and the Moon. Y'all remember that on Disney? Where this goddess is on the moon and she been on the moon. You feel me? And she left the earth because she was betrayed by her nigga. Okay. She was betrayed by her dude. And she's like, oh, it's like that? Okay, cool. I'm the fuck up out of here. I'm Deuce. And guess what her name was? Guess what the goddess's name was? Shango. Shango was her name. And she's like, let me take me and my gifts the fuck up. Y'all got it? You gonna betray me? Yeah, cool. Let me go somewhere else then. Let me be the fuck up out of here. Story after story of female deities being disrespected by their motherfucking sons, and they sons can't learn no lessons, and so y'all insist on learning shit the hard way. So let me give it to you long and hard, bitch. I'm up out of here. Work it out. Work it out. So great grandmother Crone was like, deuces. I'm the fuck up out of here. I ain't got time for this shit. I give you everything, bitch. You ain't even got to work for a living. Shit just falling off the trees in abundance. You feel me? Your ass died at a hunt. The quote, what they call the age of the patriarch in the Bible, that's some theft. Yes, human beings live to be up to hundreds of years old, but it was under the mother's reign. It was under the mother's gifts. It was under the mother's life of ease. that this happened, that you were an enlightened being. Y'all give credit to everybody but yourselves about all this shit. The Tartarians and the aliens and the Atlanteans and the reptilians and the this and the this and the Nagas and the this and the this and the this. Everybody built the shit but your ass. Everything that exists, bitch, it is your perfect hands that built it under the divine direction of the mother. That's what happened. That's what happened. That's what happened. Under the divine direction of the mother, under the ease. You cannot be your best and most. I lost my damn earring just that quick. You cannot be your most. You can try. We be making shit happen. We be creating shit. We be making shit pop. You feel me? But imagine if you were unbridled. We say it all the time. Imagine. We used to say it in the party. In the party, we used to say what we are fighting for as the African People's Socialist Party. What we are fighting for is the unleashing of the radical genius of African people. We are fighting to unleash the radical genius of African people. We are fighting to unleash God on earth. Who is God? Your ass is. Who is God? My ass is. Who is God? Your babies that can't even talk, they ass is. Who is God? Everybody on earth, whether they recall that or not, whether they are so far from their God self that they may not be able to come back or not. And so what we're talking about is the unleashing of radical genius on the earth. We're talking about what I was telling y'all is back in the it was around 12,000 years ago. Was it 12? It wasn't 12,000 years ago. It was the age of Gemini is when it said that all these goddamn monoliths and megaliths and pyramids all along the equator. How all the pyramids just know to be built along the equator? How that happened? How they did that? How they know to do that? And they had not even met yet. How they did that? All along the equator, Central and South America. You feel me? Central and North Africa. You feel me? All throughout Southeast Asia, all along the equator. Pyramids just bloop, 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 just popping up the motherfucking ground like daisies. Why did that happen when it happened? Because the mother willed it so. We had mastered the art of sonic frequency to erect megaliths. We ain't have to have bulldozers and shit, hauling 3-ton bricks and shit. We don't even know how these savages built these pyramids all throughout the world. So it must have been aliens, because they didn't even have sophisticated equipment like we have. It couldn't have been no colored ass savages that built these pyramids. Meanwhile, the great cosmic mother teaches us that these bitches with their uteruses, open ass portals in their bodies, and directing their sons who are working in willful and joyful compliance with their mother's will, get up out there with their hands raised up into the heaven and their throat chakra opened all the way to fuck up. And what was your throat chakra called? It was called only through harmonious heart of the divine feminine and the sacred masculine, and only when those are harmonious can you, quote, open up the great gate of liberation, your throat chakra. Your throat chakra is called the great gate of liberation. And once that throat chakra is open, only through the harmonious union of the divine feminine and the sacred masculine inside your chest cavity, bitch, not you booed up. That's not the hormone. That's not the divine harmony of the sacred masculine and the divine feminine. The sacred, the harmony of the divine feminine and sacred masculine is in your goddamn chest cavity. Are they in balance? Are they in harmonious union so that you can free up the mastering of sonic frequency that can change, that can spill out on this bitch like a plague? That can spill out on this whole planet like a healing wave of consciousness. It is only when they are seen as one, Shiva and Kali, as one, opening up the great gate of liberation. It's so interesting. I didn't even think about it till this moment. But all of these channels across your collarbone and in your neck and several in your head are in Chinese medicine are called child, what is wrong with my brain? It's called the heavenly star points. The heavenly star points. They are also called the window of heaven points. The window of heaven points. And they start at the collarbone and go up into heaven. You understand what I'm saying? It is only when your heart is in harmonious union with it itself. How does that happen? First of all, you got to let your little baby giant loose. Your little baby giant is staging a whole ass opposition up in this bitch. And you cannot do all these women and all these cave paintings and all these megalithic carvings with their heads way back and these little sound waves chiseled, and they all together in a circle, and above them is a giant ass stone that no 50 human beings could pick the fuck up, and they singing the goddamn into position, huh? And it's interesting. There's this cute little movie that I know that I like. I've watched it for years. It was one of my daughter's favorite movies. It's called Atlantis. This movie, it's a cartoon. It's called Atlantis. It's got this cute little colored chick with this white hair and these white eyes, and all the people who are live in Atlantis got these dark skin, this white hair, and the sun. Oh my fucking god! The sun, or the sun that has been giving them light underwater, you feel me, is a giant ass crystal, a massive giant crystal that is as brilliant as the sun. You feel me? But what had happened? The female, the queen, was the one that had the intimate relationship with this crystal. And when the queen's life was threatened, the entire empire was threatened. And so she transferred her gift to protect the crystal to her daughter. Mm-hmm. And there is a scene where this girl becomes possessed by the energy, possessed by the spirit of this giant ass motherfucking crystal. And what happens? She is floating up in the air after the crystal takes over her body so that she can save her people. You hear me? The crystal is intuitive. The crystal is conscious. And this crystal takes over her body. And as she is being lifted up into the air to meet with this crystal, guess what happens? Just what I told you that Barbara Moore wrote in The Great Cosmic Mother. As soon as she becomes one with the crystal, all these giant megalithic stones rise up into heaven with her. Listen to me, y'all. Anyway. The great liberator can only be freed the fuck up when you is right in your chest cavity. When the scales are harmonized in your own chest. My eye sits there and judges your heart against an ostrich feather. Bitch, is your heart burdened? Because if your heart is burdened and your heart is not as light as this feather, you got to come back and do this shit again. And I hate to do it to you, but you got to come back. So Libre, who is Ma'at, but Ma'at also represents the energy, because why? Oh, goddamn. Ma'at represents the goddess Libre, but she also represents the goddess Astrea or Virgo. Why? Because mommy and I are one. Because mommy and I are one. Libra or Libre and her daughter Astrea are one. And guess what? Great grandmother Crone, that she won with them too. So great grandmother Crone was like, I ain't got no patience for this bullshit, child. I'm old. You feel me? Let me go on about my life. Y'all got it. So Astrea stays with humans. Astrea stays on the earth for another age, the Silver Age. And she is trying her best to use love and empathy and caring and gentle direction. This what Australia doing, because ain't that what Virgos do? Listen, there's no need to get upset. I'm just trying to reason with you. There are certain things that you can't see right now that I have the ability to see. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm trying to make this shit easier for you. Why insist on learning a hard lesson when your mother Virgo is here to teach you that you can bypass the trauma of the lesson and just get the fruits of the lesson without going through the pain that I had to endure? You understand what I'm saying? So Australia was like, look, why y'all making this shit complicated? Y'all done already ran the grandmother off. Y'all done already ran away your blessings, bitch. You done already chased away your blessings. Now you got to work. This is the silver age. It still ain't as bad, but now you got to work. Now you got to start killing shit. You ain't even have to kill no animals during the golden age because everything was just growing and falling off the trees and you were satisfied. And you were satisfied. Now you got to kill animals. Now fucking feeding yourself is a little laborious. And the more laborious your labor is, the more aggression you develop, the more violent you become towards one another. Sound familiar? The more laborious your work becomes, your ability to sustain your existence, the more laborious your labor becomes, the more laborious your work becomes, the more resentful and frustrated you become, the more violent you become. The first people you take it out on is the people who have no power, your wife and your kids, or your husband and your kids. Then if it goes on long enough, because you ain't got no power at your job, so you damn sure ain't gonna levy your frustration and your rage towards the object of your frustration and your rage, because you a coward. You a coward. So what you gonna do is come and take it out on people who are more powerless than your cowardly ass is. This is going to create a serial killer in your offspring because they have been completely denied sovereignty from day one. You won't even let them speak up against the harm that you are causing them. And here we done created a whole spiral of fucking megalomaniacs, lunatics, and the like. Oh, thank you so much, dear. So what you gonna do? Here, you had a life of luxury, of leisure, of effortlessness, and you did not have to labor for love. You did not have to labor for support. You did not have to labor for food. The mother literally opened herself up to you and said, take what you will and eat to your fill. And that was not enough. That was not enough. She said, take from my body what you need to survive. Take from my body what you desire. Take from my body what you need to thrive. I give it willingly. I just live in your joy. I just live in your expressions of ecstasy. I just live to hear you laugh, to hear you play. And it was not enough. She said, how dare you fucking entitled, ungrateful bitches. Y'all got it? Cool. I'm out of here. Australia was like, see, y'all done ran the mother off. Now she got an attitude. She done stopped shining her divine purple ray of light on us. So as we work harder, we become dumber. As we labor more, we become stupider, more disconnected, more isolated, more lonely, more insane. Isn't that something? How'd that happen? Thank you for the donation. That's Taylor 619. Isn't that something? How'd that happen? And so Australia is like, bitches, I'm holding out hope for y'all. Australia is Virgo. Australia is Virgo. She's like, bitch, I'm holding out hope for y'all. I'm going to stay another 2,500 years to try to help y'all get y'all motherfucking minds right. And maybe the mother will come back. And as she stayed, they got worse. As she nurtured, they got worse. As she tried to gently direct, not forcefully make, gently direct, they got more resentful, they got more violent. And at the bourgeoning, at the closing of the Silver Age and the bourgeoning of the Bronze Age, which was defined, the Bronze Age is what gave rise to the first tools of humanity being transformed into weapons. And at the bourgeoning of the Bronze Age, your mother Virgo, the goddess Estrella, was like, you motherfuckers is crazy. This is that bullshit ass bullshit. I can't believe I spent 2,500 years of my motherfucking life without getting nothing in return trying to save y'all asses from yourself. Deuces. I'm the fuck up out of here too. Now, Virgo in this story is Oshun leaving the male Orisha who disrespected her, though she was the governess of freshwater. She was literally the governess of life, freshwater and the honeybee. Bitch, and the earth can't exist without either. The honeybee and the water, these were the gifts that she was like, oh, y'all want to be on this bullshit? Deuces. Let me take my shit with me. Let me take my shit with me and watch you fall on your motherfucking face. And what happened? They say as soon as she left, everything started crumbling. Everything started falling apart. They don't tell you the story because they make Obatala, the great grand big bad motherfucker of all the Orisha. His ass got wasted in his despair. He got wasted. He was creating mutants and deformed motherfuckers and sending them to Odolumare to breathe life into him. And Odolumare was like, what the fuck is this? What's this midget weird kind of thing with 2 toes and shit? Like, what the hell is going on down here? And he go and find Obatala passed out drunk on palm wine. And they never tell you the story that it was Oshun who had to come back to earth and complete the creation of human beings because this motherfucker dropped the ball. Obatala dropped the motherfucking ball on the only assignment that he had. Shape some people out of motherfucking clay, send them up to Olarum so I can breathe life up into them. And he get drunk, you feel me? Fall asleep under the motherfucking palm tree, drunk, you feel me? And everybody he done sent up until that point is deformed, afflicted, he didn't follow the script that Olodumare sent him down here with. He was like, oh, this look good. Oh, that one looked good too. I think I missed the body part, but do. You know what I'm saying? Y'all stay fucking shit up. Cause you hard-headed. You feel me? Virgo is Oshun, bitch. My aunt is both Oshun and her mother, Libre, and her grandmother, great-grandmother Crone. And now you done chased all these females. These female deities are the ones that are the most invested in your happiness. Ain't that about a bitch? You done met a Virgo. You done fucked a Virgo. You done been in a relationship with a Virgo. That bitch, as soon as even if it's a sexual relationship, she is going 150% because she gets pleasure from your pleasure. She gets happiness from your happiness. And it doesn't feel like a sacrifice because I'm going to get mine. I'm going to get mine. But I do this willingly because I love love, because I love pleasure, because I love ecstasy. It feels good when there is this mutual exchange of ecstasy and love and all the things that make a bitch feel good in their flesh. But Virgos are also notorious that they will give 150% in any relationship that they are in. Business relationship, working relationship, intimate partner relationship, friend relationship. But as soon as you violate to a degree that is unacceptable, they will cut your ass off and never look back. No second chances, never look back. Because they know they did everything right. They did everything in their power to make this shit work. And even if your contribution was only half what their contribution was, they don't trip. They'll still show up because they love love. They love ecstasy. They love pleasure. They love play. They love ease. But once you violate to that degree, I have never in my adult life gone back to be with a partner that I left. Never considered it. Even though my feelings was hurt, even though I cried a couple of tears and shit, I have never, ever once even slightly reconsidered reconciliation with an ex-lover, an ex-partner. Never. And that's every Virgo I've ever met. You fuck up to the point that I can cut your ass off, bitch, there ain't no second chances. There ain't no second chances. Because we know we done went above and beyond to secure this shit. So now whatever you got going on that you ain't worked on, that's your shit to work out. I know I did what I was supposed to do. You feel me? Isn't this so interesting? Because I just started off telling you about how I hate patience. How I hate patience. But the other reason that the story is important is because this deity, this entity, Venus, that all these goddesses are fashioned around, she is the Garden of Eden. She is responsible for the Garden of Eden. All she wants is pleasure, love, joy, happiness, giggles, ecstasy. That's all she's interested in. But what does it say about Oshun, aka Venus, aka Inanna, and aka Ashtoreth, aka Aphrodite, aka whatever name you give her on any given day, the planet Venus? The story says that while she is all giving and all loving and just always interested in human beings' most pleasurable experience on this planet, she is easily offended. And when she is offended, the story is that you must be afraid. You must be afraid because she holds a grudge. You understand? And so, I don't know how I got on that from patience. Oh, because I'm a Virgo. And y'all be trying my motherfucking patience. And I'm sitting here saying, try my motherfucking patience. And I'm driving home 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, why is the word patience like on me so much that I would actually remember it all the way home and get up on this laptop at 4:30 in the morning to Google the etymology of the word patience and have my wig split wide the fuck open at 4:30 this morning. And it still gets worse. So I said, okay, cool. The last statement say, the modern meaning, the capacity to accept trouble, suffering, or delay without getting angry or upset. And it said to the ability to calmly endure hardship or delay. Who the fuck want to do that though? Anyway, so I said, well, let me Google the etymology of the word calm and also the etymology of the word angry. So that's what I did. The word, let me just show you what I wrote next to the word calm. Let me show y'all here first. See that little open face, like surprise looking motherfucker right there next to the word calm? You see, I scribbled his little, he like, what the fuck? You see, he got his mouth wide open. He's like, what the fuck? I did it over here again. Because it messed me up just that much, the word calm. See? He's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Okay. Y'all can continue to give me these little super thanks and these little super chats and shit. Because I'm putting y'all on game up in here today. This is a game ceremony that I didn't even know needed to happen. This is a ritual. I didn't even know needed to happen today. I'm putting y'all up on game. So let me just tell y'all who are on IG. If you too want to contribute in the form of a donation to the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence, founded by yours truly, Cassandra-Floyd, aka Daughter of the Fates, you feel me? Then what you need to do is take this email address, evoemetemp at gmail.com, and send a Zelle or a PayPal to that email address, evoemetemp at gmail.com. If you would prefer to send a Cashapp, then it would be $ Daughter of the Fates, Fates, Daughter of the Fates. If you would prefer to send a Venmo, then it would be my name, Cassandra-Floyd, Cassandra-Floyd. Yes, right? Do that. Also, you can also buy yourself some awesome ass goddess-centered jewelry from my Etsy store, which is DaughterOfTheFates, Fates.etsy.com. Support your local evolutionary gangster. I digress. So, calm. So I say, well, let me just search the etymology of the word calm and see what it's got to say. Old French, calme, from the Old Italian calma. This, in turn, is believed to have been derived from the Latin calma, C-A-U-M-A, calma, meaning heat of the midday sun. That's what the word calm means, the etymology. Heat of the midday sun. I said, what in the absolute hell is going on in the universe, child? Heat of the midday sun. What is the midday sun? Somebody surprise me with your knowledge. What is the heat of the midday sun? What's the heat of the midday sun? Nobody? Really? Come on now, y'all. Do I ever ask y'all like trick questions? Do I ever ask y'all questions that are so super cerebral you can't possibly know the answer? I'm always telling you to keep it simple and make it plain. Keep it simple and make it plain. So think about the easiest thing that you can think of. What is the heat of the midday sun? Yes, it's noon, but start from there. What is the heat of the midday sun, child? It is the sun gone rogue. It is utmost young. Utmost young, the heat of the midday sun. Utmost young. Not just young. Utmost young. All white, no yin present. All white, no yin present. This is what your word calm. Oh, God damn it, son of a bitch. I'm just up in here making a mess and destroying shit. Hold on. God damn it. Biatch. Hold on. Dang. Hold on. I'm gonna have to get up. Hold on. Son of a bitch. I'm sorry, Buzinski. There we go. All right. That. What's up, big head baby? What you doing? So, the word calm. The word calm. Listen, y'all, god damn it. The word calm means heat of the sun. What does that mean? What could that possibly mean? Let me tell you what it means. Because the definition says something different, but I know what it means. Let me tell you what had happened. So I'm up in here having my whole moment at 4 something in the morning about this word. And then it says calm means heat of the midday sun. And so I go on to read Yes, that was lovely. Okay. All right. I go on to read. Right. Heat of the midday sun. This late Latin term is linked to the Greek word cauma, cauma, signifying heat, particularly of the sun. The Greek word is connected to the verb kain, meaning to burn. Meaning to burn. Listen. Meaning to burn. And so I put in the parentheses, freaking out like that. I put in the parentheses. So when somebody tells you to keep calm, does that mean keep your heat in? Keep the heat in? Keep the heat within? When somebody says calm down, does it mean burn to burn down within? What am I? When they say thank you, Chevio 1332. Yes, that's kind of scary. Because what am I always telling you? I'm telling you that your heart chakra, right, or the heart element is your fire element, connected directly to your tongue. And so your heart processes all of your emotions before impacting your other organs. And so if the fire of the heart is blazing too hot because you are not allowing those emotions escape route. What did I say? That in Chinese medicine, there are only two causes of all disease, of chronic disease. There are only two causes. What are those causes? Unexpressed and unresolved emotional trauma. Unexpressed and unresolved emotional trauma. And second to that is improper food and drink. And so you swallow your emotions, you swallow your emotions, you swallow your emotions, you swallow your emotions, and it's like literally swallowing hot coals. Every emotion that you swallow and leave unexpressed becomes fire that the fire breathing dragon should have been breathing out at stage 1 in your healing process. And so imagine you see these movies about the dragon and you can tell when she's getting ready to blow a fire because her heart gets real gold or red. And then it's like she's building up that fire. She's building up that fire. And then all of a sudden, that's what you're supposed to be doing. But you don't do that because motherfuckers be telling you to keep calm and that you need to be patient and that you need to have discipline over your tongue. Those of you who are tuning in from IG, my IG is about to stop. So I'm going to come up, but it's about to stop. Y'all walking with me? Y'all walking with me? Y'all following? You understand? And so what I'm gonna need to do is, somebody made this recommendation earlier today, and I'm going to take them up on the recommendation. I don't like trolls. I don't like, if you don't agree, keep your disagreement somewhere the fuck else. Be somewhere else with that shit. I don't like trolls. You understand? I don't like people coming up on my shit trying to be a motherfucking naysayer. You feel me? I don't appreciate that shit. So take that shit somewhere the fuck else. So anyway, listen, at the Great Thinkers 1601, I don't know if you're trying to be contrary, but I'm teaching here. You understand? And so if you don't agree with what I'm talking about, you can email me if you would like to have a discourse, but I'm not trying to debate with you about what the fuck I know. First of all, I can probably guarantee that I'm older than you, and I'm more learned than you, and I got more degrees than you, and I have more application than you. So please don't be up on here trying to contradict what I am teaching. Be somewhere else with that. Be somewhere else with that. I'm not blocking you right now, but don't make me block you. I don't appreciate that. I'm the one teaching. If you want to teach, get your own shit and teach on your own shit. So anyway, be up in here just disrupting for no reason. There's a million other goddamn channels you can do that shit on. So anyway, calm, freaking out, right? Then it goes on to say this. Therefore, the etymology of the word calm traces back to the idea of a stillness or a quietness associated with the heat of the sun at a time when people might rest or find respite from the heat. I thought this was interesting because one of the things I've been talking to you guys about is, like, you know, when we were reading the book Pure Lust, and in Pure Lust, she was talking about the need to redefine time, to name and rename everything, and to break the global spell of amnesia cast on the minds of human beings. Remember that? And so this last little part, and then also when we were reading in the Women's Encyclopedia of Myths and Secrets, And we were talking about the temple harlots, and the temple harlots were considered the keepers of the hours of the night, which is where the word whore comes from, is that the whore was the harlot who kept the hours of the night for Horus to make his sojourn through the underworld. You remember that? I know y'all don't remember that. But anyway, that's what had happened. They were up at night doing their thing, doing whatever they did in terms of ceremony, while Horus slept through the night and would wake to, quote, keep the hours of the day. The priests of Horus, if you will, Aset, was to keep the hours of the day. And so we could presume that if the temple harlots were keeping the hours of the night, so that Horus can make his sojourn through the underworld peacefully protected by the temple whores, then I would venture that we can deduce that the temple whores were sleeping while the sun was being the keeper of the day. And so I've been saying, like, man, like, we may need to change our circadian rhythm, we women, we holders of portals in our bodies. We may need to be considering that because I have always been told by my professors that what I am, quote, suffering from is excess production of cortisol or elevated cortisol levels. And one of the telltale signs that you may be suffering from elevated cortisol levels is if you feel more active or you feel more clear or you have more energy when you should be sleeping. At night, you feel like you have a second wind, or you can think clearly or whatever. But I've been really thinking about this, because no matter how much sleep I get in the nighttime hours, at noon, I want to fall into a coma. It takes over me uncontrollably. Y'all saw my eyes when I got a fuck on here. I was like barely able to keep my eyes open. I was like, I am struggling. I'm not gonna make it through. I did not want to do this live because I just want to take a nap, right? During the daytime hours, it don't matter how much time, no how many hours of sleep I get. And I do not deprive or deny myself sleep. It doesn't matter. I'm like struggling in the day, no matter how much sleep I get. But I find, just like last night, because somebody was like, no, you need to go to sleep. I do sleep. I sleep a lot. But for some reason, when I sleep during the day, like when I say fuck it, I ain't gonna feel guilty about it or nothing. I'm about to take a 4-hour nap. I don't care. When I sleep during the day, I feel so progressive at night. I got so much done last night, and I had deduced that the reason why was because, especially in this area, because it's so densely populated, it's like as soon as the world goes to sleep, I can think. It's like as soon as these motherfuckers wake up, nobody's noisy in here, but it's like as soon as the world wakes up, and it's like I can feel their thinking. I can feel everybody's thoughts at once, and it overwhelms me. It's like I can literally feel everybody's thinking energy as soon as the sun breaks the fucking horizon, y'all. I'm telling y'all, it's like that. I'm telling y'all, it's like that. And as soon as people go home and go to sleep, it's like I can focus. It's like clarity. I'm like, oh shit. Maybe I do need to be sleeping all day like my mama did. And I always thought it was bad for her because my mother worked the graveyard shift from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And so she would put aluminum foil on all the windows of her bedroom. So when she got home at 7 a.m., she could sleep from 7 a.m. to about 5 p.m., get herself ready to go to work to do another graveyard shift. And so she would sleep all day from 7 a.m. As soon as she walked out the house, as soon as she walked in the house, about 8 a.m. to about 5 p.m., she would go to sleep, get up, get herself ready for work. She did that for 40 fucking years, my mama. And we hear the scientific explanation about sleep and sleep in the midnight hour and the REM state sleep and all of that shit. But the experience that I'm having here, I'm like, maybe I need to be reconsidering this position. Maybe I need to deliberately go to sleep during the day without feeling guilty about it or making myself get up, especially on the days where I don't have appointments or I don't have any quote business that I need to conduct. Schedule one day to conduct business in the world, and then I am up at 8 o'clock and I am up until 5 a.m. You feel me? Doing what I do without this narrative imposed on my skull about how no, I really need to go to sleep because I really need to be up at a decent hour, even though I ain't got shit regularly to do. You feel me? And so I'm like, maybe we need to be making like what do you call it? Communities where we change the fucking circadian rhythms. Where we change the circadian rhythm, where we eliminate daylight savings time, where we just stage a contest. Fuck it, we just staging the contest. You feel me? So I thought about this calming thing, and what did it say? And the suppression, and so all this heat in the calm is the heat, and we swallowing the heat. We aren't expressing it. Boy, what in the hell do you want with me? You big old squishy self. Where's your squishy boy? Where's your baby cakes? Where's your baby cakes? Oh, you so squishy boy. And the word literally means as a verb, to burn. And that's but you won't be hid. I see you, Yolanda. Yolanda. Well, okay, so I will say, even where my professors used to say that I am suffering from excess production of cortisol, you just mentioned the belly fat, excess production of cortisol. Boy, I will. Don't you be biting me, you turkey. What's your problem? Turkey. We just have to find a better way to process our cortisol. That's all. That's all. That's all it is. It doesn't mean that if you don't go to sleep at night, you just naturally going to produce more cortisol. Nope. We just need to find better ways to process cortisol. The quickest way is to increase your fiber intake. Take fiber. Fiber will help you to process your cortisol levels. You feel me? Also, chromium picolinate will help you process your production of cortisol. So there you go. All right. Then I saw a video late this morning or early this morning, however you want to say. Come here, fatty. Come here, fatty boom baddie. Come here, fatty boom baddie. What's your little baby? What's your little baby? What's up? You want to say hey to the people? You want to say hey? Now listen, you ain't gonna squirm. Now you don't do that nowhere else but here. You gonna say hey to the peoples? You gonna say hey to the peoples? Squishy butt, baby. Boy, what is your problem? What is your major malfunction? Huh? What's your major malfunction? Huh? What's your major malfunction? You little fatty boom baddie. Oh, you cute. Come here, boy. But you ain't gonna dance on here. Talk about your life. Now you doing too much. God damn. Anyway, okay. Then I'm only gonna mention it for a half a second, but it happened early in the morning and it came through my feed. And I was like, you know what? Let me say something about it because I haven't said anything about it, but I need to. So I don't know how many of you have heard about this this palm colored woman. Her name is Bonnie Blue. OnlyFans. Bonnie Blue. Don't come back over here messing with me. Come back to life. Come back to life. Because you're doing too much. Gone back your life. So anyway, this girl who had made a name for herself, doing these incredibly, unbelievably blonde acts of stupidity to grow her OF account. Like the most sinister one was when she did this. She set it out as her personal goal to have sex with 1,000 men in 24 hours. Right, 1,000 men in 24 hours. And let me just tell you something. I saw a little blurb from it because apparently there's an update. Her OnlyFans account was canceled, and she was making like $1 million. I think they said $1 million every 3 months or some crazy shit like that. For these crazy, insane acts, these sexual acts that she was trying to outdo herself every single time. The girl, I said I was never gonna say nothing about this girl on my shit. But the thing that came through this morning, because I had a problem. I had every time I'd seen something in passing about this girl, I just felt a way. I just felt a way that wasn't like a way like, oh, this weirdo white woman, attention seeking weirdo. It wasn't like that. That wasn't the thing that I was feeling. The thing that I was feeling was darker and deeper. And this morning it occurred to me why I had, first of all, taken a position that I wasn't going to say anything about it. And this morning, why it was important for me to say at least something minimally about it. Because in this juxtaposition of red pillars literally spiraling out of control, losing their grips on anything that even remotely approaches sanity. You feel me? Everybody is a red pillar. Everybody hates women, but everybody wants women's attention. And the thing that intrigued me this morning at 4:00, not intrigued me, occurred to me this morning, my incessant frustration with this woman. There were several things. The video that the woman showed part of, I said, oh, this is so gross. So in the video where she was preparing to have sex with 1,000 random men in 24 hours, all of them have face masks on, which is terrifying in and of itself. The only person's face you can see is this white woman's face with blonde hair and blue eyes, and she is literally surrounded. Oh, she is just surrounded by all these men that they literally just pulled up off the street and gave them all a blue face mask so that their identities were hidden in this act with this woman. And I'm sitting here watching the short clip that she plays of this girl sitting on the bed getting ready for this act. And all of these men, you could only see maybe about 30 of the men, but all these men are piled tight around the bed. And baby, easily 90% of them were men of color, black and obviously brown men. I don't know what kind of brown, Indian brown, native brown, Mexican brown, red brown, I don't know. But I am telling you, 90% of the men standing in the shot was niggas. I said, oh. That was the first thing. The great majority in every shot of males standing around this woman's body were melanated men, were colored men. I'm not surprised either, but it was just hard seeing in real time. You feel me? Then, in that moment of absolute disgust I was having, it occurred to me. It occurred to me like a ton of lead bricks just fell straight on my head. I said this shit is far beyond madness. This shit is far beyond lunacy, insanity. This is nowhere even close about like female empowerment and sexual agency. I said no. The grossness, the gross factor of it, you can't have me believe this in her mind, this is about sexual sovereignty and agency. And then the little controversy that they threw into the mix a few weeks ago, where they was like, we found out that she was born a male, which of course was not true. But I found it interesting that this was the little plot that got seeded into her story of her having sex with 1,000 men in 24 hours. I found the fact that whole ass commentators were coming out saying we found evidence that she was born a male, blah, 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 blah. Right? As if that was the issue anyway. So the thing that occurred to me is that this is my personal opinion, and I haven't heard anybody say anything even remotely close. They're just like, oh my God, she's crazy. Maybe her trauma childhood, blah, 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 blah. I think this bitch is a psyop. I think this bitch is a psyop. I think she is an actual fucking agent. I do. I think she is an actual paid agent of the state. I believe she is a psyop. Sure do. I sure do. I sure do. Some of the outrageous. That's not to say that I don't believe that people out here crazy and got crazy ass kinks and all of that shit. That's not to say that. But there is something in her presentation. There is an unspoken thing about her presentation, some of the things that she says. Here she is, this stereotypical young white British girl, and she really relies heavily on her, apple pie of innocence look. You feel me? Because somebody was like, "Well, at least she, at least we know she ain't never gonna get married." I said, "Since when you figure that?" There'd been too many articles written by black women, articles like 10 things that black women can't do on a first date that white women can do and still get married. 10 things that white women can do on a date and still get married that black women can't do, or something like that, right? And so this girl can have sex with 1,000,000 men and somebody will still value her whiteness and her blondness and her proposed innocence and purity, and will know full well that she done had sex with 1,000,000 motherfuckers, and will still bed that bitch, will still wife that bitch, will still buy her a house and treat her like the goddess she expects to be treated like. Tell me I'm like, and guess who that will be? It will be some big, strapping Negro person that will wife that bitch. Think I'm lying? It'll be a Negro that'll wife that bitch. Like, you can bank money on that. As a matter of fact, within 2 years, this bitch gonna be married to a nigga. You understand what I'm saying? And so there's so much like insidious propaganda, where every commercial you see where it's supposed to be representative of people coming together, what they call it, multicultural nationalism and shit, and all the commercials of like families barbecuing, and they always got one Negro, but that Negro is always a man. They ain't never no black woman in the commercial. There ain't never a full black ass couple in the commercial. You feel? Name a commercial. You feel me? And I find that fascinating. And I have actually started counting the commercials that has got a black man in it and no black woman to be found. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, why they doing this? Why they going so hard on the mixed race couple that is specifically black male and white female? I'm like, why they going so hard on that? And I have a couple of ideas. One is because white women in a relationship with black men know that they are still the source of power. Not only are they the source of power, not only are they the dom in that relationship, but as the dom in that relationship, that nigga is so desperate to hold on to what he sees as status in her proximity to power that he loses his spine, that he loses any semblance of something that might have been resistance, that becomes completely eradicated in his relationship with that white woman. because she demands it so. She's like, no, we ain't equals up in this bitch. I may be a woman, but your ass is still a nigga. I'm just telling you. Every commercial. Not only that, I talked to y'all at length about all these damn zombie apocalypse, end of the world, World War III, post-apocalyptic, post-World War, end of the world scenarios. Every single goddamn single solitary end of the world scenario. The overall theme that you never care to pay attention to is that whatever the outcome for the quote new world is, whether it's post-apocalyptic, whether it's zombie apocalypse, whether it's virus done killed out 99.9% of the population, in that world to come, niggas will cease to exist. Because in every single movie, if there is a black male and a black male and a black female, the female will be quote masculine or asexual or a nerd that is not interested in sex. She is just trying to save the world. But more often than not, it'll be a black male. He will be the lone black person in this new world. He will be the lone black person in this new world. And the underlying theme of every apocalyptic movie of the last 30 years is that whatever the future of the world is going to be, we will keep one of you because we need proximity to your motherfucking melanin, but the black race will cease to exist. It's in every movie. Right there in your face. And you so caught up in the fireworks and the pomp and the circumstance and the you feel me? And so even these commercials, even these movies are psyops. But this white woman, and she ain't just a white woman. It'd be different if she was like an obvious, stereotypical image of pornography, like a pornographic icon. You know what I'm saying? Like big boobs, big butt, big, like if she was stereotypical of what men kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? It's like idealized as like the animated blow up doll, because that's what women are in pornography. They're animated blow up dolls. They still have no consciousness. They still have no spirit. They still don't deserve respect. They are just an animated blow up doll for which the males can do what they see fit and not feel guilty. This girl is not that. And so we would not be surprised, probably wouldn't even give her the clout that she has received if she was that, if she was the stereotypical blow up doll personification of a Barbie doll with the big boobs and the big lips and the high cheekbones and the big butt and the 23-inch waist and all of this shit. Bonnie Blue wouldn't have got no smoke. She wouldn't have got no smoke. She wouldn't have got no fame. She would have been a non-issue. So it becomes extraordinarily politically strategic for this girl to give the air of innocence, for her to bring you into her world while she attempts to intellectually explain the validity of this act that she is doing, and that she has not been forced, that she really is just interested in centering her pleasure. This is something that I really enjoy. While she has to go to the emergency room afterwards for emergency surgery because of the damage done to her reproductive organs and her what's the word? Goddamn. Her excretory organs. Her backside, her colon. She has to go into emergency surgery for the damage done to her body in an attempt to, quote, set a personal record of having sex with 1,000 men in 24 hours while still looking like the girl next door who's just a young, pretty, intelligent, athletic, regular girl, regular cheerleader type. And she is absolved in her monstrous language, talking about her greatest thrill is to have sex with the innocent. This is what this white woman has said. Her greatest thrill is to have sex with males and females who have only been legal for a minute. I really try to get them on their 18th birthday the minute they turn 18. This is what she has said. Now, if we had watched a man say those words verbatim, word for word, we would have the pitchforks out. We would have the goddamn lanterns out. We would have the pyres built. We'd be talking about, no, we got to string his ass up. we got to string his ass. What the hell he talking about? How he love them just barely legal. My most thrilling pleasure is to take the innocence of the young. I said, God. And I'm in here in my feelings like, what kind of human being? What kind of monstrous child? What kind of monstrous motherfucker be saying some shit like that? I'm up in here dismayed this morning. And just as clear as I'm talking to you, as I am in my emotions about this quote update about this girl, and as clearly as I'm talking to you, I hear this is a performance. This bitch is a psyop. This bitch an agent. She is an agent. And she becomes the ammunition that justifies the increased sexual violence against women that has been being charted by every country on earth. A minimum of a 32% increase in sexual violence against women and children since the advent of COVID. So much so that 2 weeks before Jimmy Carter died last year, he said, we need to stop calling it violence on women and call it what it is. What we are experiencing in the world right now today with the radical increase in violence against women and children is femicide. We can't keep saying the increase in violence of women. What we are witnessing is a global femicide. And 2 weeks later, Jimmy Carter was dead. He was old as Methuselah, so he probably did die of natural causes. But 2 weeks after he made this declaration at the World Health Organization that we need to stop saying violence against women and call it what it is, we are witnessing in real time a global femicide, a global calculated attack on the sovereignty of women's bodies. And it's having a trickle-down effect to children and to the aged and so on. 2 weeks later, his ass was in the ground. Think I'm lying? Here y'all talking about the Epstein files and the Epstein files and the Epstein files and the Epstein files. All of this is happening within the same context. Iran just literally invisibilized every woman in the goddamn country. Afghanistan just did the same thing. Now women cannot even talk in public. It is a jailable offense to be caught talking in public if you are not talking to anyone other than your husband. Your eyes covered, your head covered, your ankles covered, because a bitch might get turned on by your ankles and may be primed to take advantage of you sexually if he see your ankles. So now you have to have knee-high socks on and your burqa in the fucking desert, and it's 110 degrees because your men in your country cannot keep control of themselves. Yo. This girl, I didn't even know she was 26, child. I thought she was older than that. That make it even worse. This girl is a spy. Now, you can't tell me otherwise. This thing comes out just as this behavior, this malignant. Not only that, because this girl had been on her OnlyFans, because she had been making $1 million every 3 months. Now, apparently, there's a floodgate of young women doing the same thing. I just saw another thing last night about a girl who has been on Facebook, IG, and all of that stuff since she was 9 years old. She was this obnoxious little Asian girl who was always talking about haters just be mad because I got money. She 9. Haters just be mad because I got, forget the girl named Baby Tay or some shit like that. Well, apparently, over the last couple of weeks, she had a campaign saying, I am going to be 18 in this many days. And on the day that I turn 18, I'm going to start my OnlyFans, and you can pre-subscribe if you want me to drop hot, sexy pictures on my 18th birthday. And the video was because this girl started taking subscriptions and donations that for exclusive access to her OnlyFans that she was going to launch at 12:01 on her 18th birthday, and that only people who had subscribed or made sizable donations, and she had pillars or tiers of donations, would have access to the page. And the story that I saw last night was because in the history of OnlyFans, this 17 fucking year old girl is responsible for raising the most money, for earning the most money in the history of OnlyFans in the shortest period of time. This girl raised $1.7 million in subscriptions and in donations in 3 hours. In 3 hours, 25,000 men made a minimum contribution of $19.99, and the average was $295. 25,000 men paid a 17-year-old girl on the promise that she was gonna show them some sexy pictures in her birthday suit. That's what she said. That's what she said. This girl raised $1.7 million in 3 hours. The most money ever made in that short a period of time in the history of OnlyFans. So people were like, we need to boycott Visa. We need to boycott MasterCard. We need to boycott all the pay apps because everybody, she was taking payments from everywhere. Credit cards, apps. People were like, isn't this a crime for her to admit that she is underage, and for men for days before paying a minor for the promise of sexually explicit pictures? Like, isn't this a crime somewhere? That even though she waited to show the pictures on her 18th birthday, at the point that they paid, she was still 17. Like, isn't this a crime somehow? 25,000 men made this girl a millionaire in 3 hours. In 3 hours. 3 hours. Somebody say I lied and say I was 19 or something. That's not the point. The point is that these men watched this girl grow up on the internet since 9 years old. They've been fantasizing about a baby, waiting for the day that she turned 18, where it was socially acceptable for them to lust after a child. It was her proximity to childness, to innocence, to childhood. They don't want no 19-year-old. That bitch too old. They don't want no. Where's the fun in that? If she already legal? Where's the fun in that? Is she already legal? I know it was a joke, Yolanda. I'm just saying. You would say you was 19, and I'm saying they wouldn't have made your ass no millionaire because they were paying for this sinister feeling within of getting over on the government, getting over on the man because they done paid her while she was a baby. You feel me? It's about the sinister nature of these diabolical. Your ass would be too old, Yolanda, at 19. They'll be like, ew, 19? She's practically a spinster. 19? Damn, how she get so old so fast? I'm just saying. They've been watching this girl grow up on the internet since 9 years old. Men in her, they showing comments in the audacious comments in the comment section. In the comment section, talking about, man, I would leave my wife and kids for you. Send this comment to this girl when she was 15. Send this comment to this girl when she was 15. I would leave my wife and kids for you. So let me type it in the goddamn box. When I say that we have to blow up this hashtag, y'all, we gotta blow up this hashtag. Remember the hashtag that I tried to launch and tried to get y'all to jump on board with? Hold on, where is it? The hashtag is assume all men. Assume all men. Don't mean all men, but assume all men. That way your ass is always safe. If you always assume the worst and you get the best, it's a pleasant surprise. Ain't that something? What they say, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Assume all men. And if you conduct yourself in the world that way, where you assume all men, your ass will be forever safe. Can't nobody pull the okie doke on you. You understand what I'm saying? You got your little piece in your purse. You understand? You got your little Baphomet bookmarker in your purse with a little extra something saucy on it. You feel me? That if a bitch get too grabby, he'll have something to remember you by. Assume all men, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. And if enough men learn hard lessons. Oh, you remember the movie Law Abiding Citizen? Oof. Do y'all remember the movie Law Abiding Citizen? Oh, look at you, Yolanda. Okay. Y'all remember the movie Law Abiding Citizen? Y'all remember that? Where the two men bum rush this dude's house and violate his wife and daughter, and then eventually kill them, and they get out for good behavior, get out early for good behavior. And so he was like, that's all right, I had plenty of time to plot your demise. And so he catch the ultimate bad guy, the really big bad guy, and the guy is begging and pleading for his life because he already see the writing on the wall. This is about to be terrible. This is about to be real terrible. I love that movie. I don't like Gerard Butler because of things that I had found out about him, but at the time, I still love the movie. His contradictions aside, I love that movie. When I say I love that movie, I love justice. I love vengeance. I love revenge. I love it. When I say I love it in my spirit, I love it deep in my soul and in my heart and in my mind. I love to see the villain get what he deserves in the end. I love it. And so when Gerard Butler planned the demise of the men who took everything from him, there was a scene where the man is strapped on the table, getting ready to taste justice, bitch. Getting ready to taste vengeance. Ooh, it was such an epic scene. I wish it would have lasted 20 minutes longer than it did. It was such an epic scene. He bound to this table. He see all this gadgetry. And I'm not a sadist, but my position is whatever you dish out as some crime against the innocent, may it come back to you times 999. May you get it slow and in public. May it ricochet. May your judgment, may the execution of your judgment reverberate out into the world and strike terror into the hearts of cowards that would harm the innocent, that would harm the powerful. May your judgment ricochet forever and ever and ever, that everyone will be instantly warned. You better not ever even consider it in your wildest imagination to execute violence and harm against the bodies of human beings. You feel me? That scene was everything. That scene was worth his Justice Game. That's a movie that we might need to do a political education on. We might need to be studying his Justice Game, baby, because he did that. He did that. When I tell you, he punished every single person responsible for helping this man get. Everybody had to pay. The judge, the jury, the prosecutor, his defense lawyer, everybody had to pay. And everybody paid. Oh, such a good movie. The reason I said that, though, is when he is proceeding to carry out his judgment on this man that is now strapped on the table. You feel me? And he's got a mirror above him, and he's got his eyeballs propped open with one of them things so he can't blink or look away. He was like, oh no, I want you to see everything that happens to you. He gave him some kind of drug that made him paralyzed. He can't move, he can't defend himself, but he can feel all the pain. He can feel all the pain. And then he had he had an IV connected to the dude. He had tourniquets tied on all his limbs so he wouldn't die. He wouldn't bleed out before he was finished executing his vengeance. You understand? He had an IV attached to him to keep him pumped with saline so that he didn't bleed out. He didn't dehydrate. He also, in the IV, he would pump him with adrenaline to force him to stay awake, to prevent him from passing out from what he was witnessing. When I say methodical, woo, that movie. What was it called? Law-abiding citizen. That movie. But he tells the dude before he commences to his process of vengeance, the guy's begging, please don't do this. Please don't do this. Did you heed the pleas of my 4-year-old daughter? Did you heed the pleas of my wife? Huh? No, this is not Dexter. It's Law-Abiding Citizen. It's a movie. Law-Abiding Citizen. We need some Dexters in the world. God damn it. We need some Dexters in the world. All you weirdos that's got your weird oddity and your rocks together, instead of being cowards, committing your aggressions against the innocent, comply to the will of the mother and execute her divine justice. I'm just saying. Get your rocks off. Be a hero, bitch. Be a Dexter. Oh, that might need to be a shirt. That might need to be a t-shirt, y'all. Be a Dexter. Don't be a douchebag. Be a Dexter. Be a hero. Be a Dexter. This might be a t-shirt campaign, y'all. Somebody about to bite my shit. Anyway, while the man is crying and carrying on, you understand what he say to him? He said, I have come to understand that, what did he say? Lessons not learned in blood are soon forgotten. Whew. Lessons not learned in blood are soon forgotten. He's like, bitch, you gotta pay. And not only you, everyone down the line of so-called bullshitting ass justice must pay. He's like, I ain't got shit else to lose. You took my baby. You took my wife. You took everything from me. Every last one of you gonna pay. Now I tell you, like with most people, the ending was disappointing. But the ending had to be what it is, because I told you, in every movie that you ever watch while patriarchy remains, the theme of every movie, there is not one you can name, including cartoons, that the underlying theme in every single movie while patriarchy has remained is that the state always wins. Even if the state is dead ass wrong, even if the state is a monstrous institution, even if everybody believes the so-called villain is rooting for the so-called villain, that in the end, the state always wins. So I'm just warning you, if you haven't seen it, see it, but you're going to be disappointed by the end. I was up in the theater screaming, what the fuck? Everybody in the theater, though, I wasn't disrupting. Everybody in the theater was mad as hell. What? It's going off like that? Yes. The end was tragic. And they had to do it like that because they knew writing the story is a great story, but then this is going to give people ideas and shit. This shit is, he was about that life. He was about that life. Anyway, but that's my favorite line in that movie. He says, I have learned that lessons not learned in blood are soon forgotten. So you all must pay. You all must bleed. I'm gonna tell you, that shit gave me life. That movie gave me life. Oh, that movie gave me life. Anyway, I think there's something else I want to talk to y'all about, but I think I'm gonna have to put it off. But them two words, discipline and patience, had my soul set on fire at 4:00 this morning. Had me in my feels in a number of ways. And I was like, what kind of weirdo, just like with the word compassion and passion, what kind of weirdo does not like the word compassion? What kind of crazy person does not like the word passion? What kind of crazy person hates discipline? What kind of insane person hates the word patience? And so I had to go look up the words because, again, I always trust my flesh. And if my flesh is this easy with some bullshit and ass bullshit, I'm probably going to find the evidence that vindicates my flesh. Yes, that's what happened this morning. Patience. Patience, y'all. Just be patient, baby. Just be a little patient. Wait your turn. Just be a little patient. Huh? The quality of suffering and enduring. To endure and to suffer. Huh? The ability to calmly endure hardship or delay. The capacity to accept trouble, suffering, and delay without getting angry or upset. Oh, one more thing, and then I'm gonna leave y'all to y'all business. So after I looked up calm, and it had me dismayed and bewildered, perplexed, as one said. I looked up angry because it said without getting angry or upset. So I said, well, let me just go ahead and look up angry then. Y'all. I said, let me just go ahead and look up angry. The etymology of the word angry is Old Norse for anger, right? A-N-G-R, meaning listen, distress, grief, and sorrow. Anger means distress, grief, and sorrow, derived from the Proto-Germanic angus, which is ultimately linked to the Pi root ang, meaning signifying tight, painfully constricted, or painful. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my. Did y'all hear what I just said? That anger means distress, grief, and sorrow, derived from the Proto-Germanic meaning tight or painfully constricted or painful. Listen. You know what we call liver qi stagnation? When the free flow of blood in the liver in phase 1 and phase 2 pathway of the liver cannot freely flow, so you become frustrated, constricted, angry, constricted, resentful, rage-filled, depressed. Those are all the emotions associated with the liver. But do you know what the diagnosis is? It's either called liver qi stagnation or liver constraint. It's called liver constraint. It's called liver constraint. Child, this say angry means distress and grief and sorrow, linked to the Proto-Germanic, which means tight, painfully constricted, or painful. Why is this important? Because I told you in traditional Chinese medicine, in the diagnostics of traditional Chinese medicine, that if you develop cancer, no matter the type of cancer, no matter the location of the cancer, there are two organs that are always implicated in the development of cancer. There are two organs that are always implicated, whether it's leukemia, whether it's throat cancer, whether it's colon cancer, whether you get a tumor in your toe. Two organs are always implicated in every single diagnosis of cancer. Those two organs are the spleen and the liver. The spleen and the liver. The spleen creates blood, builds blood. The liver moves and ensures the free flow of blood and chi throughout the entire body, particularly in the joints, in the cartilage, in the ligaments, and in the tendons. The liver also circulates blood, stores blood, and sends nourished blood throughout the body, according to Chinese theory. Now, according to Western medicine, their functions are slightly different. But liver qi stagnation or liver constraint is always implicated in cancer. Spleen qi deficiency is always implicated in any type of cancer. And let me show you why. In the chart of the elements, here is your liver, here is your spleen. In your body, if you take your right arm and your elbow at your hips and put it across your rib cage where the tips of your fingers fall, this is the center of your spleen. If you take your left arm and place your elbow and put it all the way across your rib cage where the fingertips fall, this is the center of your liver. This star is your actual body. Yeah, there may be other organs implicated, but those two organs are always implicated. You feel me? And then I read this shit here, the anger, which is centered in the liver, actually means distress and grief and sorrow. Tight, painfully constricted, or painful. What do we talk about? The liver channel. The liver is here, but the channel that controls the liver circles around your reproductive organs, your external your sex organs. The liver channel does a whole little loop around your sex organs, comes up the front lateral side of your body, circles around your breast all the way to the tip of your nipples before disseminating into your armpits. That's where the liver channel goes. This explains why women who are stressed out have a difficult time producing milk for their babies. It is because the liver constraint is preventing the free flow of milk into the mammary glands, which are controlled by the liver. But and then the other branch of the liver channel circles around the breast and goes up and circles around the throat. The liver channel controls the throat, not the tongue. The liver channel controls the throat. That's why if you have nodules in your throat, if you have little knots, lumps, or bumps in your throat, the first thing you are going to be looking at in actuality is your liver. Yep. First place it's going to show up is in your liver. Feel me? Also, if there's a diagnosis that we call globus hystericus. Globus hystericus. It is that person that you know that every time you talk to them, they are chronically clearing their throat. They ain't sick, don't have allergies, but every time you're talking to them, they're like, or they're constantly sighing. And you think they being an asshole. Like you think they just ain't interested in what you have to say. Because every time you talk to them, they sighing. That's why kids be getting in trouble in school. And because we don't know how our body works, they be treating kids like they crazy because the kids will be in there sighing. But it's the liver attempting to move stuck and stagnant chi. So it'll take a deep breath because the lungs will actually mush. If you breathe deep, the lungs will actually mush, like massage the liver to move that stuck liver chi. And so babies, when they sitting in a motherfucking desk for 8 hours a day listening to some boring Charlie Brown sounding teacher spout off bullshit that they never going to use in their life, and they sitting all day and their little livers is crunched because they sitting in the seat. You feel me? They'll say, this is their unconscious attempt to solve this problem that the body recognizes. The body says, breathe big, baby, because you need to move your liver chi. Isn't that something? So stop getting on to your babies when they sighing. Well, the reason why, Yolanda, he probably wasn't being an asshole. He probably thought you were being an asshole. He probably thought, because we have been socialized to think that sighing is a sign of disrespect, or I'm bored, or I don't want to hear you talk, or disinterest. And so people are like, I can't help it, I'm just sighing. And you feel better when you sigh. Because you're not taking deep breaths otherwise. You're sitting in a chair, so you're sitting crunched anyway. So you're like, you're taking little bitty breaths, teeny weeny breaths. That's not causing your lungs to open all the way up. And so your fucking liver and your spleen are getting mushed, and it's constricting the process. You feel me? Fascinating how magical our bodies are, especially when we know what they're actually attempting to communicate to us. Your body is always trying to communicate something to you, but your body has been pathologized, so you think every communication that your body is trying to make is a sign that something is wrong with you. No, the communication is the evidence that your body is perfect and always attempting to rally on your behalf. Anyway. Anyway, so that's my lesson for today. I'm done. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. All right. Well, again, for those of you that tuned in late and you found some value in what I taught you today, please consider making a contribution or a donation to the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. For those of you who signed up for the plot, I finally finished the handwritten letter. But let me pull a card. I think I might. Let me pull a card. Yeah, let me pull a card. Fuck. Well, that was loud and clear. Okay. So I'm gonna make this quick and very short. And because I wrote the letter, I'll still send it out because it's got details. But I pulled the Fool card because I asked myself this question. And the question that I asked myself is, do I need to speak this out loud? We only got a few days of Leo season, so I still need to be pulling off courageous acts in the last few days of Leo season. Deliberate, courageous acts, audacious acts, in your face acts, disrespectful acts in Leo season. I still got some days to take advantage of. And so I guess this is one of the acts, because the Fool card said, go ahead, do it, baby. Just toss caution to the wind. See how her head thrown back? Just toss caution to the wind and let the seeds fall where they may. The conditions are right for something bountiful to emerge. Okay? So let me tell you what the plot is that I've been telling y'all about for 2 months. That came down on me on the new moon in June. I'm in the process right now. I have a couple of classes I have to go to that are offered by the city. But the founder of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence, myself, Cassandra-Floyd, also known as the Daughter of the Fates, your teacher, mentor, your sister, your friend. This year, 2025, and the coming 2026, am throwing my name in the hat to run for the mayor of Los Angeles. Yeah. Remember, I'm always talking to you about from the moment that we made the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence real, over and over and over again, she keeps saying, you must create the spectacle. You must create the spectacle. You must create the spectacle. You must create. And I'm like, what's the spectacle? What's the spectacle? What is it? And so I'm forcing. I'm like, what? Maybe I can do this. Or maybe I can do that. You remember I was joking all the time about how maybe I need to be like one of these crazy people on the side of the road with a sign saying the end is nigh, Jesus is coming, or the end is nigh, Jesus saves, or whatever. Like maybe that's the only thing y'all respond to is me on the street corner like a crazy person. Feel me? But I was like, nope, that doesn't seem like the spectacle. That doesn't seem like the spectacle. So what's the spectacle? Make it clear, make it plain. What's the spectacle? Make it plain. I was at a new moon ceremony with 7 women. And like crystal clear in the middle of the ceremony, this girl said, the new mayoral bid is coming up. I said, oh my God. Uh-huh. Listen, holistic harmony 1111, bitch, you must be psychic. Because I swear yesterday I was thinking I should see if this girl would be willing to move to LA to run on my campaign. So let me tell, I ain't gonna give away all the goods here, but I am plotting and scheming on something so disrespectful. The campaign is going to be disrespectful. The campaign is going to be an absolute institution of dual and contending power. Listen, so we need to talk. You need to email me so I can give you my phone number so we can be face to face. And everybody else who lives in the city, we have an opposition to stage, bitches. We need to have our first meeting soon. Maybe I'll do it via Zoom. Go somewhere on location so the people who are here in LA who about that life can be up in the spot. But we have a contest to stage. We have a spectacle to create. You understand? And when I tell you the first month, I was like, this is crazy. I'm out of my mind. There's no way. This is my ego talking. This is madness. Whatever. I have never once felt a single bit of anxiety, of second guessing. Like there is a calm, an eerie calm, a creepy calm in the certainty of what this is. I've already had 2 meetings about it. And then I have, so the city provides workshops and assistance on those who have never run for political office. So you can go to these workshops and they walk you through the whole process. I already meet all of the qualifications to run. When I tell you that we are going to create a spectacle unseen in this kind of process. And I am hype in the audacity of it, bitch. I am convinced it's the reason the mother brought me to LA. I'm serious. So we shall see. Yes. And so the plot that I'm sending out is about how those of you who do not live in the city of LA can still play a pivotal role in this process, in this campaign that we are going to be staging on behalf of the mother, bitches. Be clear. Be clear. Every single thing that I do has one outcome, one goal, one ambition: to create the conditions for the open arm welcoming of the return of the mother to her rightful place on this planet. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. Every piece of jewelry I make, every song I sing, every goofy ass thing I say has one purpose. And this is the spectacle that we have been waiting for. Yeah. So I'll let you guys know in the next, probably by tomorrow, when the first meeting is going to be, because it'll be within the week. I want to do it within within still the swell of the Leo season and our entry and our welcome of the great Virgo season coming up. Oh, thank you so much, Rose from the Dead. Where you been? Where you been? I ain't seen you on here in a long time. Where you been? Didn't you say you live in LA, Rose from the Dead? Didn't you tell me you live in LA? Also, those of you who told me, there are a couple of you who told me you live in South Africa. I need you to email me because I'm going to help y'all form y'all coven. There's at least 5 bitches in South Africa. And I don't have no frame of reference. I don't know how big South Africa is. But there don't need to be nobody calling me to get a reading saying I ain't got no friends in South Africa. There ain't no witchy women who are about the goddess in South Africa. I'm like, girl, listen, let me do a group email with y'all so I can hook y'all up. Y'all need a true mother's coven in South Africa. This bullshit passing as witchcraft, which is nothing but the fucking patriarchal father playing his little flimsy ass hand at power, doing diabolical monstrous shit. You need a homegirl circle in South Africa, and there's at least 5 women who have been emailing me regularly from South Africa. So you can't be talking about how you ain't got no friends and you ain't got no sister witches in South Africa, because I'm about to put y'all in a group together and y'all gonna set this work off. Y'all gonna create your little coven right there in South Africa. And if you are in where else? There's multiple people. Brazil. I need to put y'all in a group chat together or in a group email or some shit. There, because we need to be practicing medicine outside. We need to be practicing medicine in the open. We need to be this is gonna be my lecture for the next day, tomorrow. Because this shit being propagated as witchcraft and Satanism in Hollywood, child, it is the dark Jesus. Your Christianity, your evangelicism, and your Islam and your Judaism and all your Abrahamic shit and your Buddhist and your Hinduism and all of that stuff, that is the light side of Jesus. Because you remember Jesus is a twin. That's the light side. That's the light personification of Jesus. It's the martyr. It's the ascetic. It's the I who suffer for the good of mankind. That shit. And all of this shit that they create, Christians, evangelicals, they create their seeming opposition. Right? Devil worshippers and Anton LaVey and the Church of Satan and and everybody in Hollywood is in the Illuminati and all of that shit. Honey, that's still Jesus. That's his shadow side. That's Jesus' shadow side. See, they the twins within the one. They the two-faced within the one. They are the drama mask, the happy mask, and the sad mask. They are the 2 in 1. They are the twins. They are the twin personification of the one. Just like Horus and Set. It's the same sun, child. It's one sun. One sun rising, same sun setting, personified as the 2, the dark and the light. So they give you this distraction called Satanism and the Illuminati take over hip hop. And look at how everybody in Hollywood is a devil worshiper and practicing witchcraft to create the conditions. This shit that they give you, Christians, Jews, let me say practitioners of Judaism, Muslims, they give you Satan, they give you Shaitan, they give you this bad guy, they give you the bad guy, they create the bad guy to one, give a justification, a blanket justification for crimes that they will commit against all others. So all others become, quote, witches. Isn't that what happens in the age of discovery? Everybody who was not white, male, rich, and of the nobility or the aristocracy was a witch. Everybody was a witch. This becomes a way to justify the theft of your resources because you're a witch. Because every witch that they burned, they absorbed all their wealth. The church absorbed all of not their offspring, not their remaining family members. No, the church assumed possession of all their earthly belongings, all their wealth. The cry witch, like you cry wolf, the cry witch is just an illusion created to justify brigandage, theft, hostility, violence, murder, genocide. Here the bad guys, the light side of the Father and the dark side of the Father. They are one. Same ambition, same goals, two different strategies, two different masks. A mask for a mask for each situation, each scenario. This is the proverbial good cop bad cop routine. This is the proverbial good cop bad cop routine. They are both one. Their goals remain. That's why I'm always talking to you about the unholy trinity. And the unholy trinity, while his face may have changed, while his name may have changed, his ambitions have never changed. Whether it was Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades, or whether it was Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto, or whether it was God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit, whether it was Abraham, Jacob, and Joseph, all of them are a theft of the triple goddess. First of all of them are a theft of the triple goddess, attempting to absolve for themselves the power in the mysteries of the triple goddess and assume them for themselves. But when they assume them for themselves, the son gone rogue cannot do anything but destroy. Everything he creates is for destruction. Everything he produces is destructive. Every institution he builds is a murderous institution. It's the only thing that he can create as the figurehead of a murder cult. So y'all be getting caught. The only way to not get caught up in these secret society, secret meetings where they be doing rituals because they in the Illuminati, child, distraction. But the only problem is that the true faces of power have never cast spells in public. They have never demonstrated to the whole of humanity what real magic looks like, what real power looks like. And so that's all they got to go on. Is either Jesus shit or devil shit, both of which is powerless and both of which rely on the theft of the goddesses' archetypes and the goddesses' iconography to at least fake playing their hand at power. The mother is the issue. The mother is the center. The mother is the object. The mother is the subject. So I told the sister today, do it again. I told the sister today, we're going to have to be out here staging a contest in every single way. That's all I got to say about that. Thank you for your donation, Holistic Harmony 1111. I love the little emojis. Y'all be killing me with that. I love them. I love them. I love them. This was a standard operating procedure of the Holy Roman Empire. Absolutely. Unending. Not just since the Roman Empire, since Babylon, since Sumeria, since Enki turned against his mother and murdered the great primordial Tiamat, attempted to murder her. He didn't know she was just in a coma, waiting to reemerge. But he attempted to murder the great primordial Tiamat. And ever since then, the human experience has been plagued by his malignancy. But baby, Estrella, aka our great mother, Virgo. What is the completion of that story I told you a little bit ago, and then I'll shut up, is that Estrella left the earth. She was like, end of the silver age, going into the bronze age. Y'all is doing way too much. These lessons y'all gonna have to learn the hard way. And she was up out of there. But she made a promise before she left that once human beings learned the lessons that they are insisting on learning the hard way, I will return to usher in a new golden age. That's your mother Virgo who promised that. with the assistance of her great-grandmother Crone, who promised that, along with the assistance of her primordial mother, Ma'at, Libre, the holder of the scales of justice. They promised that once all the lessons of this diabolical period have been learned, and you women raise up to subdue and anchor your son gone rogue, we will assist you in ushering in a golden age. This is where we at. But we have to create that golden age. We have to usher in that golden age. That's our job. That's our responsibility. And it's exciting. It's exciting. So there you go. That's the plot. I told you. This is the Fool card. Casting the seeds where she may, knowing that no matter where they fall, because the conditions are right, child, something of substance is going to pop up out that ground to feed the many. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Make your contributions. Make your donations. Book your divination. You can do that by using the email evoemetemp@gmail.com. You can also use that email to make donations via Zelle or via PayPal. If you want to use Venmo, it is Cassandra-Floyd or Cassandra-Floyd. If you want to make a contribution via Cashapp, it is $DaughterOfTheFates. That's FATES, Daughter of the Fates. And you can also purchase your dynamic, awesome, unique, goddess-centered pieces from my Etsy store, which is Daughter of the Fates, FATES, .etsy.com. You can if you feel so generous, you can buy me dinner tonight. You can buy me a glass of wine tonight. You can do that by using either my Zelle, PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. And I would love you for it. And I think that's all I have for you this evening. Book your readings. Buy your jewelry. Yeah. And then tomorrow, I'll find something awesome to talk to you about. There's so much in the world that I want to talk to you about, but we shall see what. I might just do readings for you guys tomorrow. How y'all feel about that? How y'all feel? I haven't done it in a long time, but you remember when I used to do, like, I could pull a card for you and like live, like one card readings for you guys. Remember that? And I think I was doing 11 per question, and that you could ask up to 3 questions. I was doing 11. Yeah, that's what I was doing, 11 per question, and you could ask up to 3 questions live, right? And you could even choose your deck if you want me to read from the Kali Oracle deck while we still up in this fiery season, or if you want me to read from our traditional medicine woman deck, which is always on fire and right on time. How y'all feel about that? Y'all want me to spend tomorrow doing some live readings for y'all? Yes. All right. That's what I'm gonna do. So I have one full hour reading tomorrow morning at 10. Then I have another meeting at 11:30. So we'll schedule it for 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Let me write that down. We'll schedule the live reading for 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I will go ahead and make up the live for that. I'll post the live for that now, so y'all can have plenty of time to prepare. And and yeah, we'll do that tomorrow. Maybe I'll do it a couple of times tomorrow. Maybe at 1. I'll start with 1. I'll see how I feel. I'll start with 1, but we'll do it for an hour, maybe 2, depending upon the feedback. But yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think it's a good day since we're on the precipice. Let me see what the astrology for tomorrow is like too. And yeah, it's been a long time since we've done that, and I like doing the live little mini readings. Okay. All right, cool. All right. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for participating. Imperfectly Perfect on IG. Courtney Self-Care, Black Digits, Black Digital Media TV, Black Media TV, and Baba Ifatayo Ogbe Karan. Let's see. Ken's Color Box, Holistic Harmony 1111, Yolanda Volsi, Africa Raised Me, Rose from the Dead, S. Taylor 619, Nina La Negra, Ali Rocks. Hopefully I didn't butcher that. Shauna Michelle. Oh my goodness, it's been so long since I seen you up on here, Shauna Michelle. Persis Andrew 3900. Who else is up on here? Dana Lewis 7180. Dana Lewis 7180. Let's see who else is up on here. I think that's it for right now. Victory Music 7559, like that. Zahara Voodoon 7447. Cool. Yeah, I think I shouted everybody out. Oh, Janet Kennedy. What? Let's see who else is up on her. Claudia Ankra in the house, but she's been silent for a minute. Yes, Patrick, brother. I'm calling you as soon as I get off this call, Patrick. Power Kismet, he was up on here way back in the thing. I think that's everybody. Y'all got to listen to that song I was telling y'all about earlier. Even though we trash and discipline, even though we throwing discipline in the garbage, it's still a hood classic. It's still a hood classic. The name of the song is called Discipline. I don't remember what Dead Prez album it's on, but it's on one of the earlier Dead Prez albums. And it's called Discipline. Oh, Shy Boy Shades in the house. What? Who else up in here that I might have missed? Discipline makes things easier. Organize your life. Do. Discipline. The music is good. That's why I be trying to sing the little music in there. It's like got this subtle, smooth ass flute playing. Discipline makes things easier. Sage Page 818. Organize your life. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be fine. Discipline. Practice makes perfect. Discipline. Health is wealth. Discipline. All things in moderation. Discipline. Work your plan. Plan your work. Work your plan. Oh, it's good, but we got to come up with new language. We got to come up with new songs. We got to come up with new language because we throwing discipline in the garbage. we throwing discipline in the trash. It's going out with the trash heap of the past. You feel me? Let's see. Great Thinker 1601. Thank you for joining. Cheveo 1332. Thank you for joining. Nubian Dread for you. Oh, Tiffany was up in here. Dang, how I missed that. Tiffany was up in here. She's on the founding committee of Temple of Evolutionary Emergence, but she taking care of a baby, so she don't be up in here too slick. Desiree Kamara 1565. Let's go. Java Watson. Let's go. Yup. Yup. I think I shouted everybody out. I think I got all y'all. Yeah. Yolanda Volsi. Yeah. Everybody. Okay, everybody shouted out. I'm up out of here. I gotta go get something to eat. And then I gotta shift gears and get to being progressive. So Aquarian 71, how I missed you. Shauna Michelle say, I know I'll be usually listening in the bushes. All right, you guys. Oh, I didn't even see that, Patrick. Okay, I'm calling you right now. And Marvelofton 9490. Thank you. Thank you for being up in the mix. I'm gonna get up off here, touch base with my brother, see what they got going on. Maybe I can get in some trouble. All right. I will see y'all tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Mm-mm.